3, 2, 1.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to welcome you all to the Hello LLC. If you don't know, Hello stands for Helping Entrepreneurs Leverage Leading Web3 Optimizations. And today you are in our Wisdom Wednesday, aka Brain Candy and Sweet Treats for the Soul. We're going to be talking about the 4 agreements. If you don't know, if you've never heard about it, if you've never read the book, we got you covered. This is a conversation where we're going to discover the mind, the body, the soul, all of the above. But more importantly, we want you to open up the 4 most expensive things, which is a closed mind, a closed mouth, a closed heart, and a closed hand. And so it's time for us all to really be able to understand that times are changing, things are changing, and old keys don't open up new doors, just FYI.
They don't.
And so this is why we want you all to really, put your keys down on the table, right? And we want you to kind of forget about them and you lose them for a little bit. And we want you to recognize, that there are some other keys out there that you might want to pick up. And that's what today's conversation is about. We have our amazing Tara with us as well. If you don't know about Sweet Tea, Tara, the incredible, the magnificent.
What did you nickname me yesterday?
Talk a lot?
No, that's all. It was something that we had that it was hilarious that I can't remember, but it was
It'll come back to me while we think about it. But baby, this is a book that talk a lot. This is a book that we,
Sweet Tea talk a lot.
That we have talked. Oh, I remember it is around that sweet tea part. But this is a book that me and you, didn't know about. But you shared this book with me a long time ago. Before we went on our mindset journey, and you said, "Hey, baby, you need to read this book." And I looked at you and I was like, "Girl, please." At that time, I didn't read a lot of books. Yeah, I didn't read a lot of books. And then this thing came around where, audio books where you could listen to it. And then I would pay a little bit more attention to it, because you give me a book, 4 pages, my ass is asleep. I don't know about you. Give me emoji. Somebody else put your hand up. Give me.
I'll put my hand up because it does.
Because I will go to sleep in a heartbeat. Real quick reading the book.
That's always my telltale sign that it's not an interesting book, or I'm not locked in.
It got to get real interesting real quick in 4 pages. Let me tell you, or my ass is gone.
Yours is like first paragraph. Yeah, and an alien ate the man. And David's like, I'm about it.
Where's the movie at? When's the movie coming out? I'll just wait till the movie comes out.
I'll wait till the movie comes out.
I don't want to spoil the good part.
Yeah, that person.
Yeah. And so, we're going to have an amazing conversation today. And so, love, when we talk about the 4 agreements, if you guys don't know, Tara's going to go through them. We're going to deep dive into this conversation. We encourage you to stick around, share our actual, link out there if you're listening to us on social media. But more importantly, we want you all to come and visit us in our amazing Hello Plaza in Metaverse.
Yeah.
This is the future, and it just raises me and Tara's vibration so much when other people are talking about it. We've been talking about robotics. We've been talking about AI, and it's finally
cruise around in our golf cart.
Yeah, it's finally starting to come into light that people are starting to recognize it. So we want to give you guys a front row seat to this metaverse world that you can join from your cell phone. You can join from your laptop. You can join from your VR headset. You can join from a crusty, dusty old iPad, right? And I promise you, this will be able to give you a better experience. And definitely, right, speaking of experiences, this Thursday, aka tomorrow, come and visit us in our Hello Plaza. We're going to have an amazing conversation with Leah Garcia with her brand new Biz in a Box that we just released. Our Biz in a Box is more than a website. It is a smart link. It is literally something you all should go and tap, the leahgarcia.io. Go check out her amazing financial, strategies, and go learn more about what she's up to and how she's building her business and building her brand. And this is something that we encourage you guys to really understand, that before we pivot into this 3D immersive world, you have to make sure that your 2D foundation and systems is up to par. Don't be rolling around in a brand new, Cadillac, right? Or should I say, don't be rolling around with a 1990 Honda Accord and got the newest rims on it.
That part.
Because that just doesn't work. And sometimes that's what we find is that people want the newest gadgets and gadgets, but they don't have their foundation in order. And that's what we need to focus on first before we can, because the foundations is key. Trust me, running a business, we're having this amazing masterclass right now. Tara's working on our foundation right now, and I'm like about to pull my hair out because I know it can do some more work on it, and it's like stopping me from blasting this out to you guys because it's all not put together. But it is better than most, right? Where if you do not know about the Santa secret sauce Hello holiday sales masterclass, you need to come and visit and check us out on November 2nd and November 9th and be a part of this amazing masterclass that you can join for $27, right? One time. Or you can join our membership platform at $27 and get more than you can possibly imagine, where you're going to get a personalized plan. You're going to be a part of our Pivot membership where you get a one-on-one with us every single month for 30 minutes. Ask away. You're also going to get access to our back end whole entire dictionary where we show you, teach you, and do it for you. You also get access to our Hello Plaza, where you yourself can host your own event in our Hello Plaza, right? Every quarter, to where if you have a masterclass, you have a book launch, you have a seminar, you can come and utilize our actual Hello Plaza as yours. And that, my friends, is definitely well worth the need to be into our actual, brand new, masterclass that we got coming up. Because what's happening right now is that people are shutting down. People are shutting down. It's the end of the year. The holidays are coming up. And you, as a small business owner, you yourself should be putting in place a Black Friday sale. You should be putting in place an actual, Cyber Monday sale. You should be putting in place a holiday sale for your business, because regardless of the matter, if you sell, which we're going to show you how you can increase your revenue, more importantly, and monetize your business, but it's about brand recognition, which is the biggest piece that a lot of us as small entrepreneurs don't understand the gravity of that. Not making you wrong or right. It's just a simple fact, right? You're good at the training. You're not great at the actual transaction. And that is where we take you from good to great, as my good friend Leah shares earlier with her financial strategy, that I'm taking from her, is that, go from good to great, to where you can be able to expand your business, especially as we move to this global economy and this global e-commerce, where you don't have to have that old school belly to belly conversation. You can be implementing this AI, you could be implementing this metaverse, and it literally helps you expand your business. And so definitely come to our masterclass, Santa's Secret Sauce, Holiday Revenue, Increase Your Sales. And we're going to show you how to actually create these holiday sales. We're going to show you how to actually utilize AI and build these flyers, build out the actual, branding and things of that sort. We're then also going to show you how you can use social media and showcase these things out to your social media utilizing AI. And if you want a VIP, you want a private, first class ticket, then definitely upgrade to some of our larger packages for this masterclass, which would be into our Pivot membership, and we'll get it done for you, where it's an easy breezy done. Tara, David, I want this. I want to do this. I want to do that. You guys build it. You guys put it out there. Bada boom, bada bang, is done. You enjoy, and we do the rest. And some people want that, right? And that's what we share with you as the beginning, to open up the 3 most expensive things is really being able, the 4 most expensive things, to really being able to understand. If you don't know, then find a way that you can get it done, right?
Absolutely.
What you got on that, love?
Well, welcome on in, everybody. It's a great conversation today. I'm happy to get chit-chatty.
Chit-chatty.
As Mr. Jones says, I talk a lot. So welcome on in, Mike. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Miss Christy, for jumping in, and everybody that's watching us over on X's, X Spaces, Twitter, aka Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, audio, and live, and maybe even from your mama's kitchen table having coffee. So, at the end of the day, we greatly appreciate everybody jumping in. Today is, the day I get to chit chat a little bit more than most.
You chit chatted a lot yesterday. What
I
you
know,
about?
I did.
Tara gets to pick when it's her day to talk.
No, Mr. Jones was busy yesterday getting things connected behind the scenes, so I had to chit chat. And entertain.
Don't mind me.
Don't mind me if you're going to let me have some extra candy. So today, guys, let's get serious. Okay, so today, guys, we're talking about just, the evolution of conversation that we've been having, but rewiring your brain, that neuroplasticity that we all are learning and mastering and evolving through, and really co-mingling that with the 4 agreements. And that book is an amazing book. If you have not read, I should say, that is a book that is by Don Miguel Ruiz. It is a very short read. That Mr. Jones was talking about this at the beginning, going, I don't read. And I'm like, yeah, you do. And so at the end of the day, you want to turn that a little bit so it captures you. There you go.
I'm a little dark, dog.
You're a little.
We need some light.
You
want to put the light is
light on. Is on. So anywho,
it's all right.
With that said,
I'm a little dark.
So yeah, that's the conversation we're going to jump in today and how those intertwine. But first and foremost, jump up here, share your thoughts, your feelings. If you've read this book, come share with us what you loved about it. And if you know Dr. Joe Dispenza, come share what you've learned about or through Dr. Joe. That's what some of the neuroplasticity that we're going to reference today will be about. So, it's a great conversation piece. And I was just having this conversation with my brother. I seem to be having this conversation. 2 days ago, I was having the same conversation with my mother. And she's the one that was like, I think I need to manage my expectations. And so this is something where everybody's dealing with, as we were just having a conversation with one of our mentors, he, sharing the same kind of things of, how the community that we're involved through him is, and how they're all doing, and how that component of this mastery of the 4 agreements and rewiring your brain to the possibilities that are available is what is really what's so with that said, the one thing that I wanted to share with, and a lot of people might know and might or might not have read, but the 4 agreements by Don Miguel, those are short, sweet, and simple. Number 1 is be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word. Number 2 is don't take anything personally. Number 3 is don't make assumptions, because we know an assumption makes an ass out of you and me. And number 4 is always do your best. And so, let's, kind of break some of that down and what it means and what he was meaning by when writing this. Mind you, this was a book that came together based on ancient Toltec wisdom. Don Miguel Ruiz's mentor had, really mentored him through some things in life. And this was the 4 things that he pulled out from his mentorship with that mentor, and how it shaped and formed his life. So, be impeccable with your word, speak with integrity and say what you mean, but understand that you don't have to attack people or put people down while you're speaking the truth, your truth, right? That means having integrity and speaking what is so, and not speaking it through a lens of what you want others to believe. A lot of times there's 3 sides to a story. There's your side, there's the other party's side, and then there's what happened. And why we say that is because a lot of us are not, being in the being of utmost integrity about what we said or did, and how that affects people. And so that is something that David and I are constantly sharing with ourselves, each other, and others, is be impeccable with what you're saying. Hold your integrity. Avoid using your words to speak against yourself or others and put others down. But use the power of your words for the creation purposes. Last week we talked about creativity. Yesterday we talked about creativity. That a lot of people get scared about the future of technology. They're scared of robots because they've, believe that we're going to turn into like an iRobot society or something. And those are all possibilities. But if you lean into that, we are creative beings. We are not meant to be here to work mundane purposes and do mundane tasks just to make a dollar so we can survive. That is not what our existence is supposed to be. We are supposed to be in creation, doing things that we love. And if we monetize those, then that's fine. But in reality, you don't need to monetize it in order to love it. And that is something where we've gotten really far from that creation process. And that's, this is why we do the conversation have the conversation that we have on Wednesdays, which is a little more on the other side of the how-tos and the business and the professional side. It's a little more getting into the maybe rewiring some of those beliefs that you have, rewiring how your constraints of your morals and moral compass is wired. It's coming down and understanding that maybe I was taught 1 + 1 = 2 in this manner. You can only add these two, like you can only add, how many of us, let's think back to elementary school. How many of us remember the big old dots on the numbers? So when you were learning how to count, the big dot at the top of the number 1 was, you would touch it and you would say 1. And then you would learn that if you touched the other one, that added another 1, which was 2. So you learned the basics, right? Well, who said that you have to touch the dot at the top? Why can't it be in the middle? Why can't the dot be, at the bottom or over on the left side or the right side or, 17 miles to the north of it? I don't know. Point being is, why do we live in the constraints that, what we were taught? And so being impeccable with our word is also understanding how powerful our word is to use it to create positivity, truth, and love, and the circumstances that we want. David and I were just in a LinkedIn room listening to a beautiful conversation that Miss Leah Garcia was a part of. And the young lady was sharing about, they were talking about financial planning in the future and how that plays out and just kind of what people are dealing with. And this young lady was sharing that she's kind of dealing with something very similar and that she made the chosen words of, I'm never going to be able to retire.
Yeah.
And something I immediately thought to myself, I wasn't on stage, so I couldn't share my 2 cents, but something I immediately thought to myself was, your words are powerful. And if you continue to say that you're never going to retire, and you will believe it. And if you believe it, then that's going to be what's so. But if you share with yourself day in, day out that I'm going to retire in 5 years, I will retire in 5 years, you will believe it at some point. And once you believe it, that will be your destiny. We have to understand just how powerful our words are. That's why it's so important to be impeccable with your word. David and I've shared the story about our dog turning into a cat. That actually happened 3 years ago this week. Y'all might have just been like, we're gone, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. What do you mean your dog turned into a cat?
Not listening to Brain Candy anymore.
Yeah. Well, the story goes, and we all have different beliefs, but the story is that David and I were headed home from Idaho after being with my brother, and doing, having some family time. And in the airport, the security line, there was a young lady in front of us that had a cat. David and I got to chatting with her. She said her cat travels with her around the world. Well, David and I got through the other side of security, and I looked at him and I said, well, that would be really cool if our dog Stoney could be able to travel the world with us like that cat. And so then upon that, we went and got on the plane and, went about our business. And exactly 2 months later, after that conversation, David and I, were out having a conversation with we were out at our house and we were getting our house prepared for sale because we had decided that we were going to no longer live in the States and we were going to become digital nomads. And so essentially we were doing a whole bunch of housework, and our puppy dog got locked in the truck unbeknownst to us on a hot day, and he died of heat exhaustion. It is one of the hardest things I went through outside of my father's death. And I know a lot of people say, oh, you know, don't get attached to your pets and all that. This dog, he wasn't a puppy. He was 7, almost 8 years old.
Grown-ass man is what he was.
He was, yeah. This dog, I swear to God, has done things with David in different lifetimes, and he was very special to us. He was like our kid, and we miss him every day. And again, he decided to transform into a cat. He passed away, and then 5 days later, our cat, who still travels with us today, waltzed in the house and said, I'm home. Why isn't all my stuff put up? And why have you guys been moping around this house acting like you just lost your dog? And so, you know, there's a lot of similarities of what she does that remind us of him. They look alike, they act alike. She, you know, has all these similarities. And so long story short is David and I are in the belief that our dog transformed into a cat, and our words are powerful, because 2 months before that we thought, well, what if that would be really cool if Stoney could travel with us in a backpack? Well, guess what?
Be careful what you say.
Your words carry weight. So make sure you are manifesting what you want. So number 2 is don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. This is the hardest thing I had to learn, was understanding that what people do in this life is not because of me. It was not because I said hi, or I told them to, you know, F off, or whatever it is. It's not because of me. They are doing life because of what they are going through. Real talk, most people are so consumed with the thoughts in their own head about their own selves, what they're doing and what they're up to. They're not even worried or paying attention to what you are doing. And if they are, then it is because they are not dealing with what they need to be dealing with, and they are diverting their, you know, attention somewhere else to keep them preoccupied. So understand that nothing that anybody else does is because of you. It is because of what they are going through. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, that they want to say, well, this person always does this. If you were with someone who cheated on you every day of your life in a 20-year marriage, and then you get divorced and jump into another marriage and you haven't healed that, you're probably more than likely going to make your new spouse pay for what the old spouse did, and whether they did or did not do that. And so those are just how people do not heal their traumas, and they project them onto others, so that way it makes them feel more comfortable with being able to be around people, because they have to learn how to live with themselves. And look, I share all this because I've been through it. I share 100% of things that I'm talking about because I have went through this exact thing. I used to take everything personal. I used to have an upset about what everybody said, because, you know, what did I do? I would self-analyze myself till, you know, the cows come home, and it just did not work. It made me in such a stressed out state that it was not healthy for myself or anybody else around me. And so I had to learn through this book that, you know, what others say or do is just a simple projection of what their reality is onto you. And it's to make themselves feel better so that they can be with themselves, because most of us will not sit down and be with ourselves when we're being, you know, having an upset. We have to stop and take ownership of our own upsets in life and just be with that. So by learning not to take things personally, you are protecting yourself from unnecessary suffering and emotional pain. You are reducing the stress in your life by learning how to not take things personally. Number 3 is don't make assumptions. It makes an ass out of you and me. That is just what is so. Find the courage to be able to ask the questions and express what you truly want. Communicate clearly and avoid misunderstandings, and avoid assumptions. By avoiding assumptions, you will eliminate the source of frustration and unnecessary conflict that you are creating for yourself. Assumptions is the AI generator for your story. A lot of us run in life about a story that we think about, like, they cut me off in traffic because of this. And you come up with a whole story, and that could not even probably be the case at all. I do it. I know I do it. So I'm speaking from Tara's point of view of, I do this.
What are you talking about?
Heck yeah, I do it. I've done it, more in the past than I do now, but it still gets me. Sometimes it still gets me, and sometimes it catches up to me, and I'm like, oh man, I'm sitting here making an assumption about something, and I've got a whole story created about this, and this is nothing that's really actually happened. I've got all worked up all over something, and that's not what even happened. And I have just, taken, 20 days off my life by getting all stressed out, and that's not even what happened. And so it's understanding
say that again.
No, you already got it on recording.
Oh, okay.
So it's just understanding at the end of the day that you got to be you have to be real with yourself. If you're not going to be real with yourself, you can't expect anybody else to be real with you. And that's what's so. And once you become real with yourself, anybody can be real with you, because you've done the work. Yeah. You know who you are. You know what you stand for. You know that you call yourself on your own BS. So when somebody else tries to call you up to the mat, because it's not calling you out, it's calling you up. When someone else tries to say that, you're just like, no, yeah, I love it. I just was having that conversation with myself the other day. It's something I need to work on. I greatly appreciate you, pointing that out. Thank you so much. It blows people away when they're not met with hostility, because that is how we meet with each other. We are constantly, having this conversation in life about, confrontation and, fighting with each other, and not just wanting to work together. Here's a little conversation, a preview of a conversation David and I had last night. I saw there was a video going around on social media about this young Black gentleman. He was teenager for sure, in a community, and there was these 3 men. And I think at one point there was 4 men that were following and harassing this young man, just asking him, do you live here? Why are you here? Why are you walking by my house? Just doing things to the most that they don't need to do. And so David and I were having a conversation about it, and something that I had shared to him on his end was, what's wrong with just going out and asking this young man about, like, hey, how are you? My name's Johnny. What's your name? Do you want something to eat? We're having a barbecue. Or, are you lost? Do you need some help? Like, what's wrong with us asking people in a fashion of wanting to actually help people instead of interrogating people through question? This was more of an interrogation. At one point, I think, somebody went to go get some sort of a weapon to handle something, and that would have been really bad for the young man, and even the gentleman who was deciding he needed a weapon, and his family. There's so much a ripple effect that would have happened if that there was action taken there. But my point being is, and I was sharing with David, why can't we just talk? Why can't we just walk outside and say, hey, what's up, buddy? Like, how are you today? My name's Johnny. What's your name? Everything good? Do you need help with anything? Are you lost? We're having a barbecue. You want some food? I know I already said all this, but it just comes down to, why can't we just ask people out of the goodness of our heart, instead of looking at people as they're always suspect, and that's suspicious. Why is it always got to be, and
the negative? Why
aren't we living in, well, this person might need help, or maybe they, maybe this person has amnesia and they don't know how to get home. Maybe they live in this neighborhood, but they're out for a walk and they're walking back and forth because they don't know where to go because they're lost. Like, why don't we stop and as a society come back to that point of reference, instead of coming to a point of reference of, you're being suspicious, you're casing my joint, you're going to do something, you're going to threaten my family, you're going to hurt my family, I got to protect my family. Why don't we jump immediately to that?
I know why. Impeccable with your word.
Yes.
Right? That's exactly what that is speak with kindness and respect.
Yeah. And integrity. And it comes down at the end of the day is, I know what it is. It is what happens by being plugged into too much of a vision that tells you a vision, plugged into a lot of movies, plugged into a lot of the societal cultural things that are going on about what is stoking the fire. And we're not getting into like about, politics, but that stokes the fire.
Well, I would also say not just television, but who we surround ourselves with.
Yes.
And then also going back to even further, our growing up, our patterns, the way that we live. And, coming from my household, it was a whole bunch of that. It was a whole bunch of negative conversation. And then a lot of the times, I remind us all about that progressive commercial where, the older people are acting like their parents, where, come on out and back out, being kind or doing some of the same things that our parents do that used to drive us crazy. And then we come to recognize, oh shit, I picked up some of these same tendencies. And so this is what we share with people. Racism is taught, negativity is taught, a lot of these things that you don't like are taught to you, with politics, you're taught these things and you're really not out to take a step back and really be yourself because of the peer pressure of our traditions, our generational, surroundings, and then TV and then social media. And it's just a whole big bundle. And this is why we share with people, right? And this is why, Miss Margaret, does and talks about these things in her room as well, is, with you, and we share this is with you guys also, is meditation, having these conversations with yourself. So you really can truly, talk about these things to yourself, but not just be peer pressured to act because somebody else acts that way. And so go ahead, love.
Yeah, no, great, cherry on top, love, because it's absolutely true. Is who are we surrounding ourselves with? And that could be people or items, things like, with technology or social media. What is our timeline? Is your timeline, take a look at what your timeline is. Your timeline is a reflection of what you like and dislike. And so you have to understand that we are constantly creating our reality every day by the words we speak, the actions we do, and the choices we make. And it took me so long to understand that because it just was so far left field, right field, out of field. And I was just, lost. And so, the last one is on the fourth, the building. Love it. Welcome on in, New Light. The fourth one is always do your best. Your best will change from moment to moment. We know that. Some days you're going to be on top of the game and man, you're just going to be like, I'm batting 1,000,000 today. And then the next day you're like, I'm batting negative 1,000,000 today. It's just, we have our ups and our downs. And once we allow ourselves to have grace within our own, performance, and I say that because let's be real, as humans, we're constantly in this performance mode. We're performing. Once again,
that's taught by school.
We're performing for, our sports, choir, debate, whatever it is that you are performing in. I mean, heck, to be real talk, guys are performing for girls when they're trying to date them. Girls are, performing for guys. And what I mean by that, before anybody takes this the wrong way, because it sounds really bad now that I listen to my own words. What I mean by that simply is that, we're always putting up our best foot forward. We're showing everybody our best light, like this is me. And I'm always like this. And in reality, we have good days and bad days. In reality, we crash and burn sometimes, and we're not vulnerable about, man, today I had a great day. But the day before that, it was just a lousy day. Things were not going in my favor. And we're always in I got to put my best foot forward performance. It's always, be, shippity shape, how it is. And so, it's kind of like you wouldn't go, well, most people wouldn't just roll out of bed with hair sticking up and, their ratty pajamas on and just walk into the grocery store or be, some people do, but I'm just saying, most people won't. Most people are like, well, let me, put a hat on or put, some decent sweats on or a sweatshirt on, or let me kind of, put a bit
jazz
of,
it up,
jazz it up. And
little razzle dazzle.
Little razzle dazzle. That's it. So it's understanding to always do your best, but understand that we don't always need to be to have grace with ourselves when we have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
When we have high performance days and low performing days. It is okay. Again, the whole method of why we're here, and the whole reason why we're here is to be in the state of creation and creating things that we love to create, that actually bring joy to us. And then if it brings joy to others, even better. But as long as it's bringing joy to you, you're vibrating in a higher vibration. And once you're vibrating in a higher vibration, you're going to be more willing to want to be around other people, help other people, see other people win. And by the way, your vibration is infectious. So whether you're doing anything physically, just being in a joyful state around other people or entities, then you will understand that you are infectious by not even doing or saying anything. So, at the end of the day, this book is a book that was, and I'm going to weave some things in here. So, Mr. Jones has something to add, but I wanted to start out with what the 4 agreements were, because as we talk about this, it lends into the rewiring of the brain, the neuroplasticity that Dr. Joe talks about. But I want to share this with you before I hand this over to Mr. Jones, is the simple fact that this book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, is a very short read. It's a very simple read. It was introduced to me by my old mentors, that I worked for over 15 years. When they could see the troubles I was going through about learning life struggles that they had already mastered because they already been through it. And instead of telling me what to do, it was more like, we have to give her the tools and resources so she can figure out how to do that on her own. And the 4 agreements was one of those things that they gave me. In addition, talked about meditation, and Mr. Jones was talking about that, and I used to laugh it off, guys, 100%. I'm not, I talk about this, I say this because I was this person. Yeah. I was that person that
anytime somebody would say meditation, well, get out of here.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I didn't fault it. I didn't boo-boo it.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I didn't boo-boo it because I knew it was powerful, but I just didn't care how powerful it was, because to me, it wasn't within the constraints or in the paradigm of what I knew to be powerful, which was money at that point.
Yeah.
So it wasn't money. And at that point, we have that belief that money's going to fix everything. And it doesn't. We have to be rich within our own knowledge and our own soul and our own person before we can be rich anywhere else in our life.
Yeah.
And it's just, it is like what I heard Miss Leah sharing in her room earlier today, through Mr. Jones being in there, was, one of the questions she's always posed when, advising on finances is, should I be debt free and pay off my debt, or should I be investing into my assets and my future? And her answer is always both. And that's kind of like, what this is should I be, identifying what's going on inside of me and working on myself, or should I be working on this aspect over here, whether it's, a career advancement, or it's, a personal advancement, or whatever it is? Well, it's both, because you have to have one, and you have to have both of them. You have to have each of them in order to, it's kind of like right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. How do you walk to the another room in your house? You have to go right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. You can't just go right foot, right foot, right foot, right foot unless you're hopping. It's that whole kind of understanding that it is a double-edged sword, that you need both of these things. And so I wanted to break down, the 4 agreements real quick, so Mr. Jones can jump in here and add some before we tie in how the 4 agreements relates to rewiring your brain and that neuroplasticity that we are all navigating through. Mr. Jones, what you got?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank all of you guys for joining us today in our Wisdom Wednesday, aka we've rebranded it to the Brain Candy and Sweet Treats for the Soul. As always, we have this room at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that we're having amazing conversations around the mind, around the body, around the soul. And we really encourage you guys to invite other people, join us. New Light, you definitely need to come and join us, on our actual Tuesday room. Yesterday, we had an amazing conversation about this robotic robotics, how AI is taking full mainstream and introducing you guys all to robotics, to metaverse, and all of this is one and the same. And so definitely, guys, come and join us at our new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Tuesdays and on Wednesdays. And then tomorrow, my friends, you definitely do not want to miss our Hello Pivot broadcast, live broadcast with special guest Miss Leah Garcia herself. Yes, she is on here as well, ma'am. If you want to come up here, you're more than welcome to. Anybody is more than welcome. Me Casa, Sue Casa, come on up. Let's have a conversation. And we're going to be launching her brand new Biz in a Box and talking about her systems, talking about her foundation, and really being able to help, her build her business. And as we've been sharing with you guys, we are more than just about metaverse. We are about building your foundation and your systems from the rooter to the tutor, and then being able to pivot you from 2D to 3D to really being able to showcase your business in a different way. And Leah's been following us. She's been coming to our rooms. We've been supporting her. She's joining our community and really getting to learn more about who David and Tara is as a combined, package.
Tara is a snuggie wearing person today.
Yeah, well, Leah said that, I'm just an extra bonus. I'm just an add-on. You're the one that does everything,
No, she does not.
You're the brains and everything,
Look, you're going to get Leah off this mic and she's going to tell you what she really said.
And so, this is where, we encourage you guys to come and join us for this amazing conversation tomorrow.
You're the mouth, as she says, drop the mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you're
the mouthpiece.
We encourage you guys to come and join us tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern PM, of course, no AM around here. 6:30 PM Eastern with Miss Leah. And without further ado, Miss Leah, you want to add on anything or share to us what you up to?
Yeah, I just want to share real quick before Spanish class. I just wanted to thank both of you for what you two did for my Biz in a Box. I wasn't sure. I knew I threw a lot of information at you two, and I thought, I don't know how this is going to work, but it has just turned out so beautiful. I know we still have some adjustments, some fine tuning, but the reviews I'm getting are just phenomenal. Everyone loves it. All the details. You put so much heart and soul into it, and it's just more than I ever could have imagined. And I'm excited for my new client experience. And, I just think anyone who doesn't take the opportunity to push the button and upgrade their systems is really, they really need to have a second look at that and really have a conversation with you both to really what they can do, what it can mean for their business, so they can stop being the janitor of their business and get rid of that dusty, crusty website and business card and get their business box. And just wanted to give you two some love. And I'm excited for tomorrow. So with that, I got to run because I have another class. But thank you for the opportunity to share your stage.
Well, thank you, Miss Leah. We greatly appreciate the love. We also greatly appreciate you trusting us with all the information and the keys to your business and be able to turn that and bring that back around. So it just makes your life easier, and it brings an aesthetic, it's an aesthetic tool that not only looks great, but it also performs. And, as you and I spoke, as we were dropping all this information, it came down the pipeline of, just really going like, Tara, I do this, and then I got to do this, and then I got to follow up this, and this. And I was like, Miss Leah, technology is about to replace all of that for you. So you can start doing the things that you need to do in your business and not have the things you have to do because you're stuck in, having to send out reminders and things like that. Now, the beautiful thing about it is being able just to, I'll say this, and I say this every time, if the love and the support and the accolades that we receive after we do help somebody transform their business with a business in a box, their amazing smart link, if that paid the bills, that's all we would ever need. But it doesn't. And so we appreciate it as well. But, it's what I live for, is the happy person on the other end, that their life is now easier. That is what makes me just, why I do what I do in our business, is because solving people's problems. It really brings joy to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, Leah had you crying the other day when she was saying, when we did her handoff, and saying, how much she appreciated. You literally had her in tears, Miss Leah. Just FYI.
Yeah. And it's just because that's what speaks to my heart. That's my love language, as we are talking about different things here today. So thank you, Miss Leah. We greatly appreciate it, and we greatly appreciate your time. We know you're a busy woman, so thank you so much for jumping in and sharing the stage with us. We greatly appreciate you. Anybody else that wants to come up is more than welcome. We got Mike and New Light over here. If either one of you want to jump off and jump into this conversation, please jump in. We'll take it.
Yeah, I love the 4 agreements. I have a little, I don't know what it's called, but just a real small copy of it. It's so cute. It sits on my desk all the time. I love it. I love it. So I wish I could stay, but I got to run. Thank you too. Love you both. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. And so with that being said, guys, look, once again, you guys need to come and join our Santa Secret Sauce, How to Boost Your Holiday Revenue, November 2nd and November 9th. This is our masterclass that we are holding at the end of this or at the beginning of next month. And we want to show you how to craft your marketing plan for the holidays, from Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the holiday sales, right? And then being able to help you design eye-catching flyers using AI, using Canva, using some of these new tools that we've been introducing to you guys. And then we're going to also help you promote and strategize how you can actually do this, this holiday sales, because at the end of the day, we want you all to understand that it's not just about making money. It's also about getting brand recognition and marketing for your business moving into January, to where people will remember you were the one that was showcasing your business, talking about your business. And I'm here to let you know, you don't have a business if you don't talk about your business, right? I love it when our numbers drop down, because people have left our actual, our following, because maybe they might be getting tired of, what we posting. Maybe they don't like what we post. Regardless of the matter, they're seeing it, and those aren't our people. And that's something that we help you all understand, is that everyone is not for you. And you have to be able to target audience, right? Know your target audience, figure out who your target audience is, and really be able to adapt and adjust in your business, and not be doing the same old things that you were doing last Christmas, last Thanksgiving. If you were doing anything, there are so many businesses that are not implementing these simple marketing tools into their business because they are thinking small. It's like that dude used to say, stop thinking small. You need to think big. And so often we think so small of ourselves, when, how do you think Elon Musk started? How do you think Jeff Bezos started? How do you think, Mark Zuckerberg started? They started somewhere. So why aren't you doing the same exact thing, especially in today's day and age, where you can do, create, provide anything and everything that you actually think about with this new technology that's out? And so right now is the best time more than ever to start your business, just like Elon Musk said the other day. We don't need to be working. Why do you need a job when we now have built out these AI robots? And so when people talk about, oh, this AI ain't going to take my job, you're right. The AI is not going to take your job. But that damn robot that's $20,000 to $60,000 will take your job, because there's no vacation, no holidays, no HR, no 401k they got to donate to, none of the headache, none of that shit. So I'm just here to tell y'all, as we've been telling y'all and being ahead of the curve, times are changing. Are you changing is the question. And if you don't have something to replace your phone bill, your light bill, your cable bill, your cell phone, your house note, and you don't have additional money coming in, I'm here to tell you, when they hand you over that pink slip, you're going to be like, damn, what do I do now? And this is why we share with you all to be preventative, not just with your business, but your overall life. And you being able to adapt to these changes, because the genie is out of the bottle, ladies and gentlemen. It's out. There is no going back. And so, when the pandemic floated around, these companies realized, oh, damn, no employees, no work, no money. We no like. And so they have been putting these things into play to where, Texas Children's Hospital just laid off 1,500 people. Netflix, Apple, Google, all these companies are laying off people left and right due to the fact that they're implementing AI. And I'll give you a great example that when the pandemic did float around, guess what? When your ass didn't need your car wash, when you weren't going to the gym anymore, and you got rid of a lot of subscriptions you weren't using, how can you be mad at a company for doing the same exact thing? They're not using it. Why would they pay for it? And so, and your business, your company did not start a nonprofit. They start a for-profit business. And so hopefully this is registering. This is, this is, rattling your cage and getting you uncomfortable, which is what we do, but it's to raise your vibrations and to let you understand your comfort zone is keeping you where you are right now. And just like last year, around this time or around New Year's, you had that champagne, you were popping fireworks. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do all of these things. Where you at, right? Let's not continue the same patterns. And that's why we encourage you guys to come and join this masterclass for us to be able to help you transition and make this, this investment, which is $27. If you are asking, oh my God, how much is this? $27. Your ass is going to blow $27 before tomorrow is over with. If you haven't already, right now, somebody shopping on Amazon right now, buying some unnecessary shit you don't need. Real talk. And so,
Why you gotta talk about me like that?
I'm sorry, baby. And so this is where we encourage you guys to really, learn more about our masterclass. You can join both days, the 2nd and the 9th, right? You can come and listen the second time. You can come and ask questions or vice versa, whatever, but press the button, come and join. And if you want a private VIP, we have different levels where we can actually do it for you, right? Build your flyers, build your systems, be able to literally, showcase you. And not only that, check this out. Anybody that joins our masterclass, whether you join at the $27 one time, or you can join our $27 a month executive membership, where not only are you invited to both days, but you also can get 20 minutes, right, into our HQVC showcase that we're going to have on November 22nd. So we're going to have a whole entire day of QVC. You remember when your mama, daddy, uncle, broke brother-in-law used to be shopping?
Metaverse style.
Right? Used to be shopping on QVC. I'm going to get this for uncle. I'm going to get this for auntie. I'm going to get this for your mama. Get this for your daddy. Well, come on down and we're going to showcase all of these new amazing sales from the people that came and joined us to learn these new incentives. And then you also will get, one-on-ones with us as well. And so definitely join our one time, right? Let me make it simple. $27, or join our pivot membership at $27 a month and get additional incentives that you guys can all learn about in our biz in a box that is our the Hello LLC.io, and you can see all the information on there as well. And so come and join us with that information that I've given you guys. But, more than anything, today we're having an amazing conversation on the 4 agreements that Tara was talking about, right? Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions. I think this right here is the biggest one, is don't make assumptions. And then, number 4, always do your best. And when we talk about, be impeccable with your word, building an honest foundation of trust with yourself, right? And it's not being impeccable with your word outwardly, but it's internally that I think we a lot of the times miss, right? Understand your words carry weight. Your words are spells. Your words create reality. Avoid the gossip. Avoid the negativity, right? Speak kindness and respect. Remember, we're all in this together. Keep your promises. Use your words to uplift and inspire, not just other people, but yourself. I mean, how many times do you look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? You a bad mofo. You know what? You are sexy as hell. You know what? You are smart as hell. Literally, when's the last time you did that when you went into the bathroom and looked yourself in the mirror, right? Or are we always talking about, well, I need to lose weight. Look at my face. Look at this. Look at that, right? That doesn't give you longevity of life at the end of the day. Be aware of your tone, your voice. Me and Tara talk about this all the time. A lot of our arguments are based upon how I talked to her, what I said, not that I'm cheating, not that I did this wrong
It's
or I did that.
communication breakdowns.
It's communication breakdown that a lot of the times we get in arguments about, right? That we've now, pinpointed on that by having conversations like this, being aware of your tone and taking full ownership of it, right? Avoiding the sarcasm and irony. Sarcasm is funny, but sarcasm can kind of get taken away. And then taking responsibility of your words. A lot of the times we won't take responsibility of our words. This is something that me and Tara talk about all the time, right? Is that, hey, baby, be aware of what you say and how you say it. And instead of bringing up the past, instead of being defensive, instead of, changing the topic, take responsibility for it and be like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean that. That's not how I meant for it to come off. Because a lot of the times we do get defensive and we avoid to look bad at the end of the day, where if you're just impeccable with your word, then you really can, reinstore your integrity and give grace to the other person. And then, that takes, don't take anything personally. Oh my goodness. This one is huge, to where other people's opinions are not your reality. And so often we allow other people's opinions, become our reality. Prime example, in our business. We allow, us not posting about our business, not showcasing about our business, because we sit there and say, oh, well, what about my friends? What about my family? What about this? Stop. Don't worry about it, right? Don't take anything of those things personal, right? Don't let others control your emotions at the end of the day. So often we allow other people to control our emotions, and we need to practice that self-compassion. We need to practice, letting go of grudges and resentment. Forgiving somebody is not for them. It's for you to stop talking about it. It's for you to stop replaying what happened, how it happened. They said this, you said this, and da 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 da. And how am I going to get back? You know how much time you spend on trying to, get revenge and trying to resent someone? You spend more energy on being angry at people than just letting it go and loving people. You realize that, right? You spend less energy and less frustration loving people than you do hating them. And so, focus on your own happiness, which is why we talk about, being able to really, meditate, work out, get that body movement, and really being able to, remember that everyone is struggling in their own way. A lot of the times we get so selfish in how we live our life and forget that there's other people on this planet that are going through things that are a whole lot tougher. When me and Tara went through our self-development, there was this course that we went to, and man, people would go up on stage and they would be vulnerable and share what was going on in their life. And let me tell you something. I sat there in my chair for myself and I said, boy, you ain't going through none of the stuff that these people are going through. And you better go sit your ass down somewhere, because if I had to go through this, go through that, go through this, go through that I'm hearing, I wouldn't be able to deal with it. Right. And so we forget that. And moving to number 3, don't make assumptions. Okay. Which I said was the most important thing. This is something that me and Tara practice or getting better at, right? Instead of me running off the Richter scale or her rolling her train down the tracks, instead, hey, what did you mean by that statement, right? And before I go and make this assumption, what did you mean by what you said? Because I'm liable to say something and snap and pop on your ass if I make these assumptions. The old David, right? But what am I doing now? What do you mean by what you just said right now? And then actively listening to others. This is what gets us in a lot of trouble, love, is that, we listen to respond. We listen to, react more than anything. And this can just be so difficult if we don't listen to others because we're trying to respond, or we're avoiding to look bad, or looking good is running the show, or we can't control ourselves and how we talk, and we share the conversation, and avoid jumping to conclusions. Consider the other person has a different pair of shoes, a different perspective. Although Tara has her way of dealing with things, I have my way. And if we can understand and respect each other's perspective, oh my God, that would be so beneficial as we share. When you go to try on some shoes, right? You go try on some shoes, a lot of us just say, oh, I wear size 10 and a half. When you literally should sit your butt down, say, hey, can I get a 10 and a half? And can I get a 10? And can I get 11? Because your ass is, shrinking by size. So you never know what's going to happen. And you actually sit down and try on the shoes, and you're able to fit and walk in those shoes. And a lot of the times we just run with what we think, and being open-minded and being positive, right? And seeking clarity before we react, really to avoid those assumptions and about other people's motives, about what they're doing, how they're thinking, things of that sort. I just touched star. She's like, what? And then be willing to change your mind at the end of the day, which is why we're having this conversation. All of us have some way of thinking that Tara shared with me a long time ago. This dog was on the porch with a guy sitting on the porch, and another guy walked up, and he's like, hey, your dog is howling. And the dog was just howling. And the man that was sitting on the porch with the dog said, yeah, if his ass got up and moved over an inch, he would realize that there's a nail in his side. But because he's too lazy to get up and change his ways, he's that old hound on the porch just howling when they need to make a change. And in some shape, form, or fashion, we all are that old hound on that nail, not willing to budge because we have this pride, we have this ego, we have this macho of this is who I am, you deal with it, that's your problem, it ain't me. And I'm here to tell you, a lot of the times, 100% of the times, it is your ass, right? If you continuously have problems, then I'm here to tell you it's you at the end of the day. And so moving to, number 4, always do your best, right? Do your best in every situation. Stop comparing your chapter 12 to somebody else's chapter 22. We get so caught up in comparing ourselves. And I'm here to tell you, all these people that might be at these different chapters probably don't have their stuff put together half the way you do, right? So stop comparing yourself to other people that you think are doing well, and you have no clue what's going on. And then, more importantly, I encourage you guys to celebrate, your accomplishments. A lot of the times we don't celebrate our accomplishments, and so you don't know your best. You don't know what you're doing good. You don't know what you're doing well. And this is where meditation, this is where a great journal comes into play. This is where congratulating yourself and saying, hey, this is where I'm at, really allows you to do some different things. And then learning from your mistakes. A mistake is your ass taking action, number 1. Let's just be crystal clear about that. And the more actions you take, the more mistakes you're going to make. And failure is nothing more than a learn or a gain. And so it's better. I tell people all the time, regret costs a whole lot more than actually failure. Okay. Because you not doing these things, or you getting older and you being like, boy, I wish I was younger. I could do this. I could do that. Then why didn't you do it when you had the chance? And so that regret that we all have that eats us up, inside. And look, when I'm saying these things out loud, I'm talking to myself. That there's a lot of the things that I regret that I didn't do right back in the past, and that's eating me up a lot more than now. Then I actually just go do it. And kind of like what Leah was sharing earlier, doing it is a lot better than not doing it. And I forgot the exact words that she said, but you get the gist of it as actually just pressing the button and taking action. And so, those are the things I wanted to share with you guys, and set some realistic, goals. Have a SMART goal. specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. That's what SMART is. We talk about that a lot in our Pivot membership, to set SMART goals and being able to really understand, how important it is to just sit down and plan these things out, because a plan will get you so much further than no plan whatsoever. And so I want to welcome some of our newer people in here. Miss Lorraine, welcome, welcome, welcome. Miss Cleo Michael in the building with Set Yourself Free. If you guys don't know, you guys definitely need to go check her out. Jay is in the building, Mr. Storyteller himself. Jason, welcome on in. Welcome, brother. Disability Ambassador, how you doing? Welcome. We appreciate you guys joining us. And look, as I was sharing earlier, if you guys do not know about our Santa Secret Sauce, how to boost your holiday revenue masterclass that's happening on November 2nd and November 9th, definitely go get your tickets. It's $27. It's two meals that you're going to spend, where we're going to be talking about crafting and your marketing plan, designing eye-catching flyers. We're actually going to show you and teach you how to do it, how to promote them as well, and utilizing AI for your social media. So you also will be able to get a personalized plan with us, and then definitely come be a part of our HQVC live broadcast that we're going to have to where all of these presenters are going to be able to promote their business, their brand, and showcase their holiday sales that will be running throughout the whole entire holiday season for you guys to be a part of. So join our masterclass, be a part of our QVC show, our Hello QVC show. This will be in the Metaverse that you can join from your cell phone, your laptop, your iPad. We will show you, we will teach you, we will have open seminars of how you can join. This is very easy. If we got great grandmas that can do it, you can do it as well. I can assure you of that. Beloved, what else do you want to add to this amazing conversation? Or does anybody want to come up on stage and share? Please feel free. What your thoughts are on the 4 agreements, anything you want to share. Mi casa, su casa, our house is your house. Come on up. What you got, love? You got anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Jones, for jumping in there and sharing that breakdown. Again, we greatly appreciate it. It's always the two sides of things. We see things very similarly. Oh man, my wife. Similarly. Similarly.
There you go.
Why is that word all of a sudden deciding just going to be like, I'm going to cause you trouble today? But anyway, so at the end of the day, we greatly appreciate everybody jumping in here. One thing I wanted to share, because we were talking about this at the beginning, was not only the 4 agreements breakdown that Mr. Jones just kindly, went back over for us, but I don't know how many of you know who Dr. Joe Dispenza is, the neuroplasticity conversation that he talks about within the quantum field, and how he's, been able to utilize meditation and things like that. It's the neuroplasticity side of it, though, that is a great conversation. And essentially it comes down to rewiring your brain. And that's what the 4 agreements is talking about, is being able to look at these 4 different agreements, and how if you will rewire how you think things through, how you act, how you show up, how your knee-jerk reaction to things is, that you will create a new life. You will create new experiences, was the word I was looking for as I was stumbling over my words here. And so, understanding that, it really does take exercising that muscle, because it is a muscle, and a lot of us don't understand how that is and what that is. I'll share this. David shared that almost 9 years ago we started our mental mindset, our mindset journey, our mental journey. Yeah,
well, we were crazy. Well,
it is. If we look at who we are now versus who we were then, absolutely, I was that, person that I talk about now, because I was that person. It's not that I talk about it, but it's just that I speak of it because from experience. And some of the relatability between the 4 agreements and how to kind of rewire your brain, what Dr. Joe talks about, is when being impeccable with your word, that is rewiring the negative self-talk into positive affirmations. It's like, earlier Miss Leah's room that she was having, and the young lady that was sharing, it was, what are the words that you're telling yourself about, your 401k, about your retirement plan, about those things? What is it that you're telling yourself? If it's not something that is, that is positive and affirmative, essentially at the end of the day, you are crafting your reality by what you speak into existence. And so it's understanding about self-talk into positive affirmations. The not taking things personal releases the emotional attachment, that, freeing mental space for new possibilities. So it's understanding at the end of the day that that's what is so, and that's what is at play, and that it is understanding how to release that. I was just having this same conversation with my brother about that. It's not to take things personal, to understand that what is happening to him happens to everybody. We did it when we were younger. His kids are doing it, other people's kids are doing it. It's all that kind of getting out on an empty nest and staking your independence, and understanding what that is and why that shows up, and really understanding that when you get things in, when you're so dialed into taking things personally, you're really just robbing yourself. You're robbing yourself of your own joy, your own peace. It's not personal. We have to stop taking things personal. Avoiding assumptions, reduces the anxiety and opens up channels for clear thinking. It's understanding, short, sweet, and simple, that all of these 4 agreements, if we would live within kind of understanding to be impeccable, don't take things with our personal, to stop making assumptions and do our best, it actually develops a life of peace. But all too often we are stuck in the world of, this is what's so, and I have to live by these parameters, instead of realizing we are powerful individuals, and what we say, what we do, the choices we make creates our future, creates our reality of our present right now. If I'm going to walk out of here and say I'm going to have a bad day, you're going to have a bad day then. But if you walk out and like, no, I'm on top of my game, I'm not having a bad day, I'm having a great day, then, in reality, you're going to be on top of your game. This is what is the powerful, how powerful our minds are. And that's what Dr. Joe spoke about in his, teachings that he has shared over the time, is understanding how, that neuroplasticity, brain's ability to form and recognize I can't even talk.
Get it out, girl. You got it.
Synopsis of a connection. My
Synopsis.
Goodness, I tell you,
It's
today
okay.
Words are just challenging for me.
It's all right, girl.
Especially, this happens when in response to learning and experiences, and mainly like injury. That's a trauma to the body. And so when we understand that those connections are made based off of how we're how life happens in our life and what we do, it comes down to, understanding that we are our brain's either biggest, what is the word? Unfriendly person that's not helping, or it's our biggest, asset, or our biggest, Achilles tendon. What is it? We have to understand we stand in our own way, period. And so at the end of the day, we also have the quantum field, the concepts that everything in the universe is, is energy, including our thoughts, emotions, and our beliefs. Look, guys, real talk. We, at the end of the day, have to understand that we are energy. What happens when you go to the emergency room and you go flatline? They bring in a cart that is called a defibrillator, that has a defibrillator on it, and that defibrillator is simply creating energy, positive and negative, charge, that is then shocking you to bring your heartbeat back into, alignment. So it is then creating a heartbeat. This is the simplicity of it. We are energy. When people, say you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I'm like, but you don't get it. If you're dying and you're dead and you're flatlined, and someone yells clear with a defibrillator to shock you back into, life, You are energy. Like, why, how is 1 + 1 not equaling 2? And so we have to understand that energy is inclusive of our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs. Our reality is shaped by what we mentally think, our mental and our emotional frequencies. So our thinking, our actions, and how we respond emotionally, that is what creates our reality. And a lot of times we live in this, that I just got to get up, I got to go to work. We fall in this pattern, and we fall in this survival pattern, which, if you were a part of a conversation yesterday, I was talking about our survival patterns. We are we are supposed to be here to be creators and creating things that we love, whether we're monetizing or not. We're not supposed to be here doing mundane tasks that produce money so we can survive. We are all stuck in survival mode. And I can tell you why we're all stuck in survival mode is because each and every one of us need this thing called money in order to put a roof over our head and food in our mouth, period. Every single person on this planet
from a lion
is in that same paradox, that same paradigm of, what is, so money creates, luxury, and luxury is easy. We live in that paradigm, and that is by our conditioned ways of when we grew up, and seeing our parents have to pay for things and put a roof over our head and, buy food. It's them seeing it from another generation. It's handed down. And when we start breaking these nuances and these wires that we have wired up in our brain, these connections, this neuroplasticity connections that we have going on, and we start attaching those beliefs and start opening up to the 4 most expensive things that you have, which is having an open mind, an open mouth, an open heart, an open hand, and understanding that there are things out there that are going to challenge our current beliefs and morals, and not in a bad way, but in a way that is going to enlighten us. We will stop and realize that we are our own creators of what we create in this world. And when we can stop and understand that when you focus your attention, where your attention and focus goes, your energy.
Where energy goes.
Where your focus is, the energy goes, whatever Einstein said. But
where energy flows, your energy goes.
Pretty much, exactly. That's where I'm trying to get to. And so it comes down to understanding that we are our own creators. And as we are moving through this time period that has changed up, we've got to understand the more that we speak into existence and we talk out loud and we share with others. David and I are to the point now that, like, we don't say some things because we don't want that to come into reality. Like, we'll look at each other and be like, don't you say it. Don't you say it. Because at the end of the day, if you say it, that could be possible reality that we could deal with. And I don't want to go through that, and neither do you. So don't say it. And so we have come extremely aware of who we are, how we speak, the choices we make, and how we create our own reality. And this, again, guys, all goes back to the 4 agreements, because it is within the 4 agreements of being impeccable with your word, not taking things personal, doing your best, not making assumptions. All of those 4 things right there is what keeps us in the constraints of our current paradigm. If you're in a life that you don't love right now, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off and just probably be that person right now, but it's your own fault. And I don't mean that in a way of like, now I always say things and I go, but wait, I got to elaborate more. It's not, there are things in this life that happens that are not your, that is out of your control. And at that point, you are dealt with a set of circumstances that you're going to have to navigate. It's going to make you a better person out of it. You're going to come through and have a skill set and a knowledge base that is going to be extremely helpful and useful. It's not going to be joyful while you go through it, but you have to understand and live in the faith or the understanding and you're going to get there one day. And it's not always going to be like this. And so when I say it, and look, guys, I'm always that first person to go, stop being insensitive, Tara. Like, because that was an insensitive comment. I'm the first one to be like, well, that was insensitive. And I'm the one that said it. But my point being is, yeah. But the one thing that I meant by saying that is, you are the creator of your own reality. So whatever reality that you're dealing with right now, You're the creator. It goes back to the asteroid hitting your car.
Oh, Lord. I hate this one, but it's so true.
It's the analogy at the end of the day of extreme ownership. If you have not read the book by, Jocko and his...
Jocko Williams?
Yeah, you always got to pull it up and tell me. But by Jocko and the other author, they served in battle together, and they led teams through battle. And so they understood the ownership of extreme...
Jocko Willink and Leif Babin.
There you go. Jocko and Leaf. And so at the end of the day, they wrote an amazing book called Extreme Ownership. And it really speaks about how, and I'm summarizing this, they don't use this analogy, but I came up with this analogy, is you parked your car somewhere, you come out from your house, the grocery store, wherever it was that you parked it, and it is smashed into the ground by an asteroid. There's an asteroid setting on your car. You no longer have a car. And you'll be like, oh my God, Mother Nature, no! And you get so mad at Mother Nature because you needed that car, you needed to get somewhere, and it smashed your car with an asteroid. Now, yes, I know how freaking retarded this sounds. And what I mean by that is how out of this world this would never happen, Tara. Well, I'm saying this because it gets your attention to understand you parked your car there. That's your fault. Yes, it is your fault that an asteroid hit your car. Well, what do you mean by that, Tara? Because that is just asinine. No, in reality, it's not. You had a choice to park your car anywhere. You might have had to walk a mile, but you had a choice. You didn't have to park your car right there in that spot. There's always choices in life. It might have not been the popular choice. It might not have been the easy choice, but you have a choice, and you chose to park your car right there. And yes, you have no control over Mother Nature, but guess what? That was your choice. You made the choice. And so you have to take extreme ownership that, hey, I parked my car there. Yeah, I didn't know an asteroid was coming. I didn't know. I don't have any control over Mother Nature. But the extreme ownership in that situation is I parked my car there, and so it is my fault for parking the car there. And a lot of people are like, well, that makes no sense because I don't have any control over Mother Nature. Yeah, that's the point, is that there's a lot of things that are going to happen to you in your life that you don't have control over, but you are in that situation because of choices that you had made, whether it was 20 years ago or 20 seconds ago. You are in that situation because of a choice you made at some point in your life. And now you are learning or experiencing the lesson that is tied to that choice that you made. And a lot of times we make choices every day that we don't realize that have some sort of lesson tied to it. Like you could, every day you leave your house at 8:00 on the dot to go to work, or 7:30 on the dot to go to work. But one day you left at 7:32 because your coffee, was heating up in the microwave before you left. And when you did that, you caught every red light, you got in a fender bender, and all of these things happen. And you're like, dang it, if I would have left 2 minutes earlier, I wouldn't have had to go through this. Instead of stopping and going, well, what's the lesson in this today? Yeah, I guess if I would have left 2 minutes earlier, I could have maybe avoided this. But the universe, or the higher power that I believe in, whoever that is, has put me on this course to learn a lesson. So what is the lesson in this for me to learn? And what is the extreme ownership that I can take out of this? And so understanding that when you will be so self-aware and self-vulnerable with yourself, that you can rewire your brain and your beliefs and your paradox of what you're stuck in or not stuck in, and create the future that you want. We all have that power. It is, will you utilize your words in a positive manner and speak it to the positive existence, and understand that you're only as powerful as your words that you speak. And so coming down and understanding that Dr. Joe, when he speaks about the rewiring of your brain tied into the 4 agreements, they're saying the same things in different ways. They've learned the same things through a different experiences. And it's really simple, but one person might make, and this is a great analogy. Let's look at the dish rice, just a rice dish. In the Hispanic culture, mainly the Mexican culture, it's going to be a rice that is cooked with tomato sauce, and there could be some carrots and peas, and maybe, some other vegetables in there. There's little broccoli in there or whatever. They put some sort of, and tomatoes, chopped tomatoes in it, with maybe a little bit of chicken bouillon or whatever. That's, what they call, I've heard it both ways, Spanish rice or Mexican rice, right? But if you go all the way over to the other side, the Eastern Asia side, to Asia and to the Eastern side of the world, they make it differently. Maybe it's white, it's sticky, or maybe it's fried rice. And so they've, put a whole bunch of vegetables in there. And now they're mixing it with soy sauce and frying it. And then there's a fried egg in it. Looking at this, guys, from the point of view that there are so many different ways to serve one dish. You are the same way. There's so many different ways to look at things. And so, today's been an amazing conversation, having, as we dove into this, series, the brain candy, sweet treats for your soul. Today was 4 agreements and how to kind of look at Dr. Joe Dispenza, the rewiring of your brain and the 4 agreements. And so we want to welcome everybody up. Thanks, Mike, for being here. New Light, we greatly appreciate you. Jason, it's so good to have you in here, sir. Disability, thank you. Jay and Cleo, it's so great to see your beautiful faces. Pootie, hi. I love that name. That's a cute little name. And Essentials, thanks for jumping up here. If anybody wants to jump in on this conversation before we wrap this room and add what they've learned, through life lessons of their own that might tie into this, we'd love to hear it. Or, you can tell us to, might not have learned anything and kick rocks. It's okay. I tell myself to kick rocks every day sometimes, but what you got, Mr. Jones?
Well, baby, the book, The 4 Agreements, is definitely a book that we encourage you guys to go and listen to, or, join our Pivot membership. We have a whole entire breakdown, of that in our Wisdom Wednesday speech that we upload into our Pivot membership. But, we want you guys to also feel the urge to, be your best, and to, be able to, don't make assumptions, and to don't take anything personal, and to be impeccable with your word, and come join us in the Hello Plaza in Metaverse, that you can join from your cell phone. You can join from your laptop. You can join from your iPad. You can join from your VR headsets if you do have those. But please come and visit with us in our Hello Plaza. Come be a part of our amazing masterclass that we're going to have on November 2nd, Santa's Secret Sauce, how to boost your holiday revenue. And then definitely be a part of our actual November 22nd Hello QVC, where we're going to have a full day of showcasing products and services and everything that you all that join us in this masterclass to offer, that we're going to be able to, craft your master plan, design and eye-catching flyers, utilizing AI, and then also being able to help you understand how you can utilize AI for your social media. And then those of you that do join our executive membership for our Pivot plan, Cleo, you're already a part of this, ma'am. So welcome, Razzle Dazzle. Go ahead and book that one-on-one so we can start, working on your actual plan as well for the holidays. And then also Cleo's going to get a 20-minute, spot that she's going to be able to showcase Set Yourself Free. And all the things that she's going to create for this holiday sale. So, girl, that's the benefit of you being in our Pivot membership as a VIP member that she just upgraded to. So she's also going to get a flyer made for her. She's also going to be able to extend that call to a whole hour. And then she's also going to get her AI MotionWorks video built for her holiday sales. And that's what we were talking about. If you guys want to upgrade to that VIP or our gold, our private, session that you guys can get. But Miss Essentia, I know you got your hand up. Please feel free to share with us. Hopefully I got my speaker connected and we can hear you. But go ahead, ma'am. What you got?
Hey, David and Tara. Thank you for the space. I believe you're hosting on several platforms right now.
Yes, ma'am. That indeed.
Okay. So nice to meet you, everybody, wherever you are. I went to the Metaverse and I don't see you. Maybe I went into the Naked podcast. Is that the wrong one?
Yes, you were in our Getting Naked room and we're in the actual Hello Plaza studio.
Okay, so how do I get there?
So the same Biz in the Box link, instead of you hitting the Getting Naked podcast, hit that big button that says Hello Plaza.
Hello Plaza. Okay, I'm getting there. All right, multiversal right now. Nice. Okay, I don't know if I'm there. Hello, it says Hello Plaza live 3. There are 3 people online.
Yep, that's the one you want.
Okay, I'm just making the multi-immersed experience happen.
Yep,
here.
I see you. Essential
Well,
is in the building.
It's still loading.
Yeah, you're still loading. And here I'll go to you so people can see you. Because we're also live on there you are. We're also live on Facebook Live. We're also live on our YouTube. We're live on our Twitch, our X Spaces. We're live on Twitter. Our Instagram Live. We're live on Chatter right now. We're live on LinkedIn audio and live as well. So we are omnipresent as always. And here, since you stay where you are, and I'm going to take a picture of us and I can send it over to you. Oh, hold on, let me get it again. And then you can be able to share this as well on your side. So 1, 2, 3. Boom, got it. Perfect. All righty. Boom. So I got you, and I'll send it over to you in our chat as well. But was there anything you want to share about our conversation? I know you kind of came in at the last second, but was there anything you want to tap in or share with us?
Yeah, you said the 4 agreements. I think the 4 agreements are great, but everything has to be also taken, everything too dogmatic can also be very dangerous, right? So, and you always take it with a grain of grain of salt. And there's also, for the 4 agreements, there's the 5th agreement. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's an extension. And the 5th agreement goes, be skeptical, but learn to listen. Don't believe yourself or anybody else unconditionally. Use the power of doubt to question everything you hear. It is really the truth. Listen to the intent behind the words, and you will understand the real message. But also don't get eaten up by doubt. So, yeah, the 4 agreements are great. Then the 5th one comes in, but life is more than, I took it very literal, don't take anything personal. And there's a beauty in it, there's independence in there, but also it disconnects relationships as well. So enjoy everything in its right balance. And don't take anything too dogmatic, even the 4 or the 5th agreement. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely love that share. That was amazing. For sure, adding in the 5th, agreement. And so you guys definitely make sure that you're tapping in with one another, following the person to the left, to the right, up, down. We all have something we need to share. Your story is your glory. Ask the storyteller himself, Mr. J. And definitely you guys go and support other people's rooms. Hell, if you have a dead phone, go and, charge that phone up, connect it to your home internet and put it on mute and go away. Right? It's the showing up your face, giving other people, gratitude and support just as they do for you. And we appreciate that you guys that came in here and spent your time with us, because as we share with you guys, time is our only competition. So we know how important your time is and you're spending it with us. And so we greatly appreciate you giving us your energy, your vibration, and hopefully we rose your vibration at the end of the day of all of our conversations that we have, from our Helpful How-To Tuesdays that is now Hack the Future, right? AI, Metaverse, FinTech, where we talk about all things technology. And then today's conversation that happens every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, where, it's food for the brain, or shall I say brain candy and sweet treats for the soul, that happens every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And then definitely those of you that know about our Hello Pivot, we have our special guest, Miss Leah Garcia, that's joining us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Power of Systems. Leah Garcia introducing her brand new Biz in a Box and her showcasing her brand new systems, her brand new platform, to where she went from a crusty, dusty, old, outdated website, Adobe, thing that she was utilizing. Now she is fully automatic and now taking over the world. Somebody literally today said, you know what, Leah, I never went to go click on your link. But today I went to go click on your Biz in a Box, and oh my goodness, I finally downloaded, your Wall of Wealth, and that right there just, made her happier than a clam, because people are actually paying attention to what she's doing and learning more about what she's doing without her. And that's really what our Biz in a Box does, is it takes you away from you being that janitor in your business for you to be the president and let people learn about you without you at the end of the day. And that's what we do build systems, we build foundation, and then we're able to pivot you into the metaverse and taking you to this new wave of engaging and experiencing the metaverse, so that you can join our Hello Plaza from your cell phone, your laptop, your VR headset, right, or your iPad, and it's really something amazing and different that you all can be a part of. And so until next time, you guys know the drill: love,
kindness,
integrity,
but most importantly,
commitment,
and
consistency.
until next time,
Toodles!
toodles. See you all
See you guys later.